Shalom. Let me get straight into this lesson. I'm gonna get into 3 videos, but I'm gonna first get into his first video. Salakia. Kind of bear with me. This is China military parade, right? So check it out.
There and filed this report. With the sound of cannons firing across Tiananmen Square, soldiers from the People's Liberation Army goose-stepped in perfect unison, moving as one. This was part of the largest military parade ever to be held in China, marking the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II. Overseeing his troops under a blazing sun, China's President Xi Jinping. Greetings, comrades. You are working hard, he told them. And then it was the unveiling of Beijing's new military hardware, nuclear-armed missiles with potential global reach, hypersonic weapons, autonomous underwater drones, and laser air defense systems. But this spectacle was more than just commemorating the war dead. It was an opportunity for Xi to take center stage, flanked by his powerful allies and neighbors, Russia's President Vladimir Putin and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. The deepening ties between China, Russia and North Korea would certainly have some in Washington concerned. During his speech, Xi...
You see what it is? You see what it is? It's like, you know what I'm saying? Let me get into this other video. All right, so get into this other video. These is in so-called Israel. These small hats, you know what I'm saying, are gonna continue to bomb Gaza. Check this out.
Residential tower has been raised in Gaza City by the Israeli military. They say it was being used by Hamas without providing further evidence, while locals say it housed displaced families. Along with the bombs, the IDF has been dropping leaflets telling people to move south to the so-called humanitarian zones in the Al Mwasi area of Khan Yunis.
I read in the leaflets that they claim Al Mawasi is a safe zone, but when people go there, the bombings begin. Where can we go? We have no money, no tent, no house, no food. I have 15 family members. Where am I supposed to take them? I can't.
Israeli forces say they control 40% of the largest city in the Gaza Strip. North of the city, Israeli bombs hit a refugee camp.
We fled from death and moved here to my sister's, and we were deep asleep when we woke up in the middle of the night to the sound of explosions. Fire was in our face and walls were falling on us. God protected us, thank God. What is the guilt of our children? What is our guilt?
You see what it is? They pretty much doing it. They ain't pretty much. They doing a genocide. So all this different tension is going on in this world. And you had a decree was set out, I think, by the Taliban, something like that. But we get into this other video. 1 second, Salakia. So this video is United States to send F-35 fighter jets to Puerto Rico. So what they're doing is, you know, instigating this Venezuelan thing. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into this video.
Fighter jets to Puerto Rico. And it comes as the Defense Department confirmed that 2 armed Venezuelan F-16 fighter jets flew over a U.S. Navy ship in the region on Thursday. CBS News senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe asked President Trump about this in the Oval Office earlier.
It wasn't really over, not like they described. But I would say, General, if they do that, you have a choice of doing anything you want. Okay? If they do put us in a dangerous position, they'll be shut down.
And for more on this, let's bring in CBS News Pentagon reporter Eleanor Watson. Eleanor, thanks for being with us. What more are you hearing about the Trump administration's plans here?
Well, the Trump administration is now going to send 10 F-35s to Puerto Rico as part of its intensifying fight against drug cartels. Those F-35s are the most sophisticated.
And that's the narrative that they push, right? Like they lied about, what was that, Saddam. You know what I'm saying? They lied about that, you know. So it's just a narrative that they creating so they can, because Venezuela got one of the biggest oil reserves in the world. So they want it.
sophisticated aircraft the military has. They are capable of carrying weapons, but also can conduct tremendous surveillance. The military often complains about not having enough aircraft to conduct the missions it needs to conduct around the world, and now 10 of its best are being drawn into what is usually a law enforcement mission by the newly named Department of War.
Newly named Department of War. That sparked me to go into this lesson, in 1 second. I was thinking to myself, I was like, it's too much stuff going on to keep up with. So I try to consolidate all the, things that's going on. It's a lot more that I can't even get to, but Revelation 6:4, it says, and there went out another horse that was red, represent Esau Edom, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given to him a great sword, represents Esau Edom blessing. Let's go prove that. Genesis 27:38, it says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. It says, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. It says, Genesis 27:40, and by thy sword shall thy live. I'm going to show you something. Ever since the so-called white man, the Edomites, came into power, they did conquest and, war. It's always been war. That's why this devil, through the spirit, renamed the Department of Defense to the Department of War. It says, Salakia, I think it's called the Department of Defense. Let me make sure. Let me see, Salakia. Let me see. Department of Defense. Salakia, give me 1 second. Did the Department of Defense get changed to the Department of War? Salakia. It says President Trump signed an executive order on September the 5th to use the Department of War as a secondary title. It says, but the formal name change of the Department of Defense to the Department of War can only achieve through the act of Congress. But you get the idea. It was on this devil spirit to do that. Department of War. It says, and by thy sword shall thy live, and thou shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from thy neck, off thy neck. So going back into Revelation 6:4, and there went out another horse, Salakia, that was red, and power was given unto him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword to represent Esau Edom. And they started this in the Renaissance when they went to rape, rob, and pillage and destroy the whole world. That's why you got the state of the world in this chaos, right? Let me show you something else. It says right here, it says the United States has been at war or engaged in significant military conflicts for the vast majority of its existence. This that war machine, a period of often cited as being around 93% of the time since its founding in 1776. Do you hear this? So this is that war machine. This is Esau Edom living by his blessing, which was the sword. Let's go here. Let's put it in war machine. As a matter of fact, when you go to what does a sword symbolize? Check this out at the top. It says a sword. It can, mean a lot of different things, but let's check this out. A sword symbolizes a broad range of concepts, including power. Earth is given into the hands of the wicked. And this is how this devil deal with everything, with a sword, with war, military. power, authority, protection, courage, and justice, but also carries connotations of warfare. You can't make this kind of shit up. There you go. And right here, war machine. It says war machine. The military resources of a country organized for waging war. Remember, America, Babylon the Great, has been at war 93% of its existence in some kind of conflict, military action, right? 93% of its history. And remember, this place is Babylon the Great that reigned on all the kings of the earth. Let me get that next. Give me 1 second. Right now, that's that mystery that a Christian don't understand. Going into Revelation 17, it says 8, because they take this literal. It says Revelation 17:4, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of our fornication. So this woman represents America that rode on this beast, which would be the NATO alliance, EU, NATO, all that. So let's go, Salaki, let's go 17. Right here. It says 17:18. It says, and the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. The woman represents Babylon. Babylon is America that reign over. And how they do this? With their military, with sanctions, with the economic sanctions they can put on countries. The backup currency of the world is the dollar, so on and so forth. All this is changing, though. It's changing. So these other countries have got might and power, and they got something called the ICBM. ICBM, right? Intercontinental ballistic missile. They can travel from one end of the earth to the other. That's that vision of these missiles raining down on Babylon. ICBM missiles. China got them. Russia got them. And I think Iran, if they ain't close, they got them. North Korea, that's why they call it dude Rocket Man. He's always testing the ICBM missiles. He's trying to, get it perfected. So look, and I think North Korea pretty much got it down now because they got they allies with Russia and all this other stuff. They in cahoots, as you saw in that video. So in this place, I'm gonna get into some other videos going into the economy. People bugging out, they wilding, people losing hope. And this place is, it's falling apart, scene by scene. But you're seeing all this crazy shit going on right now, and it's gonna only intensify. You don't know what's gonna happen next. But we do know through prophecy, World War III, the microchip is coming in World War III. All right, hopefully this lesson is edifying. Kahala Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachak, Kodash, Shalom.